Oops, I muted myself. Okay, so yeah, we're back with another Geek Night session with Shin no Nakama. Well, this is an anime this season, and I'm trying to avoid talking about the anime that I don't know much of. Okay, and since now Shin no Nakama is basically like on its 11, 12 episodes, so basically it's at the end. Okay, so I can basically my opinion on it is formed, okay, and I don't want any surprises, okay, like I don't want it to be something like Darling in the Franxx, okay, where it was really going well at a certain point, and this and in the middle of the story it basically threw a a monkey wrench in it, and then I have to like totally form a totally new different one. Okay, so now things are going pretty well, and I like it. Okay, and even if something happens to it at the end, okay, in other words, the final episode or whatsoever, if I hate it, then I can just assume that the final episode is gonna be terrible, and that doesn't overall affect my general opinion on Shin no Nakama. Okay, so like I said, I don't want to talk about an anime I don't want to know much. Okay, and without a doubt, I've been looking forward to Shin no Nakama every single week. Okay, but before that, I just want to check out my volumes and everything single week. Okay, but before okay, so it seems that everything's going well. Okay, so Shin no Nakama, for those who haven't watched, okay, Shin no Nakama is about a man in a party of heroes, okay, but okay, and which is this guy over here, okay, so he is all of them have their own dedicated class, so like for example martial artist, archer, mage and stuff, okay, but he doesn't. He's basically like a sort of an all-rounder in the party. Okay, so in the story, okay, they are traveling together. All of them are traveling together to take down the demon lord. Well, the standard thing. Okay, but okay, since he who is not he's not in a particular class, like I said just now. Okay, think of him as if you play Ragnarok, think of him as a novice. Okay, so a novice is basically like you are not dedicated to any classes, but you can do a little bit of everything. Okay, so like a support attacker, like can cast basic spells or whatever. So those, you can imagine him as that. Okay, but the thing is that it's not like in this world they don't have like job change or class change. Okay, so in other words, they kind of like have a limit to it. Okay, and being a novice is good in the beginning, but at the late game it's not gonna help much, and that really proved to be the problem for him. Okay, since the further they go, okay, the closer they are to the demon lord, it's gonna get much harder, and it seems that he reaches limits. Okay, so when he reaches limits, he can't level up anymore, sort of. Okay, and he realizes that he has become a burden to the party. Okay, so he's not strong enough, he's not good in high class magic. Okay, so in terms of fighting ability, he's been a burden. Okay, and even he felt that even he felt that. So, and what happened next is that the sage is this guy here. He kind of like, hey, you are bringing us down. So he, in a sense, persuaded. And if you want to go a bit further, you can even say that he is being threatened by him, okay, asking him to leave the party. So combined with those two feelings, that he feel that he's useless, and the guy say that you were asking him to leave, combined together, and he did just that. He left the party. Okay, and so he wants everybody to think that he didn't want others to find him easy to say. Okay, so what he did was he went to the most remote region in the world. Okay, or in their area. Okay, so he went to the remote region. He started a new life there. Okay, now, okay, before that, before he left, okay, he had to like give his equipment and everything to that sage over there, and he's basically have to start back his life from zero. Okay, next, okay, so in the next part I want to talk about is that when he started his new life, okay, he changed his name, okay, because remember he doesn't want the party members to find him, okay, so instead of using his real name, which is if I'm not wrong, Gideon, okay, so he changed his name to Red, okay, because the reason why he changed it to Red is because he kind of like, I want to say looked up, but he is fond of another adventurer of sorts, okay, who's actually a princess, okay, and she's also being given some sort of like a high class or high level of blessing, okay, that it's quite amazing because she's allowed to talk with spirits and her limit is higher than him, okay, so her name is Red, which you can see in the picture here, okay, so her name is Red, so in a sense that he wants to get closer to him because, you know, maybe he deep down he kind of like him, so he kind of copied her name, okay, and at first he started as an adventurer again, okay, because remember he's trying to start a new life but he doesn't have money, so he became an adventurer first, okay, trying to get some money, and then after that, when he got enough money, he decided to set up a shop, and that shop is an apothecary, okay, and apothecary is basically a pharmacy of sort, okay, but they make their own medicines with herbs and stuff, okay, so then what do you know, after like a couple of months, a couple of weeks pass by, okay, that Red somehow, by some kind of weird coincidence, she also stumbles upon him, okay, you know, met him at this place, okay, it turns out she also has her reasons for being there, okay, remember this is a remote region, okay, and if I'm not wrong, it's called Zoltan, okay, and to tell the truth that in the story it did shows that, you know, Reed from the very beginning is interested in Red over there, okay, Gideon, where back when he was in the party, okay, she looked up to him, okay, but she also feel like, you know, there's she can't just confess his love to him because he is very popular, because in the party he is popular, he is capable and all of those stuff, okay, so she felt that she can't match up with him, because remember, even though I say that Nova he doesn't have how should I say this, like exceptional in a particular field, for example fighting and stuff, but Red, when he uses his ability, okay, he, you know, for example, this is inborn, okay, so, you know, this is like he nurture himself, so like for example, like you're negotiating, okay, and some minor abilities that he is able to use for that, for example, like they're able to appraise. He used all this menial ability that a novice had. He used it to his advantage, and that's how he gained his respect in the party and also to the people around him. Okay, so when Reed saw that, okay, she felt like Red is so amazing, but since she, at first when they met, okay, she was not honest with herself. She's always like trying to do everything herself, compared to Red, okay, who supports his party members, support, you know, the people around. She felt a bit inferior and decided to part ways. And now suddenly they are back. Suddenly they met together, and this time she decided to throw away her her tsundereness and just be honest with herself. So there's an episode about that. Okay, there's a in the anime they talk about that. Okay, and what do you know? Okay, both of them, like I said, confirm themselves, uh, confirm their love, and they live together. Okay, live and work together. They manage the apothecary together. Okay, so after they got used to it, okay, after they know that they love each other, we pan ours. The story pan to the hero party, and the hero party is right now is in a dilemma because normally Red, okay, or Gideon, he's the one who managed the supplies. He's the one who managed the manage the finances. Talking with the people around, negotiating everything. So I know those, even though that he's not fighting, okay, he is proving himself a wolf to the party, which is why people think that because remember they are the heroes party who are basically going to defeat the demon lord. Okay, you don't think of this minor stuff, but okay, in real life, well, it's not actually real life, but in the story, it plays a big part. Okay, so the heroes party, which is the hero over here, okay, is having trouble with managing all this minor stuff. Okay, uh, they got a bit frustrated. They have to chat something that they didn't thought they have to think about. Now they have to, like, okay, somebody need to manage this, somebody need to negotiate with this. Okay, and they are pretty bad at it. Okay, so imagine, okay, let's say for example, okay, let's look back at the last what here. Now after he left, okay, the sage took over him. Okay, but since the sage is, he thinks that I am the sage, I'm the smartest person in the world. Okay, you all just have to obey me. But in real life, it doesn't work like that. Okay, so but even if he doesn't take over, can you imagine? Can you imagine this guy, the warrior, trying to negotiate? It's still gonna go bad. Okay, and for example, and this one is like the paladin class. Okay, so if you let her do the negotiating, okay, because in some time, okay, in the party, you need to, like let's say, uh, you need to work with with some kind of the bandits to take down, maybe the warlord. Okay, for her, she might actually, like, okay, we kill the bandits, okay, and somehow take out the warlord. But the simpler way is that you work with the bandits and then later on, take down the warlord. Okay, but due to her paladin, like her code, she will not be able to, how should I say, compromise with that. Okay, and even though that didn't happen in the in the anime, but you can imagine that this kind of situation would happen. Okay, so but the thing is, the one that is troubled by most by his leaving is actually the hero himself. Okay, the hero over here, she is basically given, supernatural powers, okay, alongside with magic and abilities, all of them one. But okay, but the problem is that in exchange for that power, okay, her personal freedom is taken away because first of all, everybody expects her to be uh to save the world. That's one thing. The responsibility. Okay, as we know, yeah, great responsibility comes, okay, with great power comes with great responsibility. That line, I think she herself felt that. Okay, but the second thing is what I mean by taking away her personal freedom is that where the blessing that she received actually kind of like restricts her emotion. Could you imagine, being with your personal your emotion is restricted? Okay, even it's kind of like bending your will in a sense. Okay, so she tried to, remain tough at first. Okay, trying to, okay, in her mind at that time, maybe like, okay, I take down the demon lord and try and find him afterwards. But sooner or later, even she realized that the party needs him. Okay, and at some point in the story, she actually like, I want, I can't take it anymore. I need to be with him. Okay, and it seems that the background story for her is that they were raised in an orphanage. Okay, the hero and Red, okay, or Gideon, okay, they were raised together, and from there she started to rely on Gideon. But as she grows up, the blessing gets stronger. Her, her ability to express her emotions also faded along with it. But after losing out Red in her life, she finally like realized, yeah, being hero is nothing. I just wanted to be with him. So, how, uh, the ending of the basically the last part of the anime right now, okay, which is still on air, is that she's trying to find a way to remove the blessings so that she can express herself, something like that. Okay, it's not completely settled yet. Okay, but that's what we could hope for. Okay, so the the blessing is really a big factor in the story, and how it affects the world and the people living in. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about, nature versus nurture. Okay, so nature here is that these people, it's not like they can choose the blessing that they want. It's that they were born with it, and it manifests sometime during their childhood years. Okay, so okay, in this world, almost every being, okay, not only humans, okay, because there are also like other races, like for example, um elf, dwarves, and stuff. Okay, we only seen the elves, okay, but we can assume that they are also like, oh, in the story they are lizard people, like this kind of like beast people, all of them. Okay, and even they also receive the blessing. Okay, but in one passing mention is in a few of the episode or scenes. Okay, only a certain tribe of demons, they don't have it. Okay, even the demons have it. Okay, normal demons, and I assume goblins too, because they also another passing line they say is that, in order to improve your blessing, you need to kill people. Okay, so you need to kill those who have blessing. So I assume that when they fight with the monsters, that, for example, like maybe a wolf in the forest also have blessing, and that's how they like kind of like level up their blessings too. Okay, so, and these blessings, they determine your course in life. In other words, basically, let's say you have let's just say the blessing is like the classes that you are set. Okay, so let's say um this person is born under the blessing of a thief. Okay, so with the blessing of the thief, okay, basically you're going to move faster. Okay, you're going to move faster, you're going to be more sneaky. Okay, but okay, um it also, like I say, with the hero, her personal freedom is taken away by limiting her emotions. But in a think about, for a thief, okay, maybe like have the urge to steal things. Okay, so for example, like if let's say this person is still a kid, okay, and he have the blessing of the thief, and he's walking down along Market Street, and then he see like somebody who put um money, or he tied his money bag around his waist. Okay, so when he see that, he might have the urge to steal, which is, even though the child is a good child, but the the blessing is like kind of like attract him to that money bag and try to you know make him steal it. And that's what I mean, that it robs them a bit of their personal freedom. Okay, so it doesn't like, it's not like a boost, it's like the nature itself is trying to pull you towards that kind of path. Okay, against their nurture, even though that their parents taught them to be, okay, you need to be a good boy, you need to be a good little girl, okay, so that when you grow up you can help the people. Even though that person want that to happen, they, that freedom is kind of like robbed away from them, okay. And in the story, okay, in the story, there are two children that we need to pay attention to. One is an elf boy. He received the blessing of a weapon master or something like that. Okay? But there is a little bit of freedom for him, in a sense that he can choose which weapon he wants to master. But at the end, he still need to pick up a weapon, okay, to master, because sooner or later that time will come, okay, when you become a weapon master, you're going to be a great fighter. But the elf child doesn't want to fight, okay. He just wanted to live a normal life, maybe work as a carpenter, maybe work as a chef or something like that, okay. So when that happened, okay, he tried to deny himself, okay, but Red and Red actually told the boy that okay, even though you're born with this blessing, but it's up to you who use it, okay. In other words, there is a sense that you can be a weapon master. You can decide whether your path is a bloody path or a path that will protect the people, okay. But okay, in his case, okay, his blessing doesn't actually lead him to a path of violence, okay. Maybe a lot of fighting, but it doesn't necessarily need to be violence. But then another child that we're going to focus on in the anime is that this boy, he is the son of the guards, okay, and he wants to be like a guard like his father, but he was born with the blessing of a drunken brawler or something like that. So a bar brawler, basically, think about a drunkard fighting in a bar. That's the blessing that he got, okay. So he hated that, okay, but he can't deny that the blessing actually improved himself, yeah. And he's quite good in fighting, because that blessing actually allows him to fight. If you play Yakuza, if you play the Ryuga Gotoku series, okay, it's basically like the beast mode in the Yakuza series. So he's strong even though that he's a kid, okay, but he hated that because having that blessing, it won't help much with being a guard. And he also have this kind of temper tantrum from time to time, and he have to deal with that and fight that urge, okay. But since he's a kid, he can control himself well, and he will lose that composure and actually start picking up fight. And he knows, at the end of the day, he knows that's not a good blessing to have. So I'm not gonna spoil much. He actually tried to take up a new blessing, okay, and actually that blessing turns out to be worse, okay. And if you want to know more, you should watch the anime, okay. Now, the anime, okay, when they talk about these two children, okay, who are doing their best to handle their impulses, but in a sense that the Red and Red, they guided it and they questioned the concept of blessing, okay, but they didn't go deep to it, okay. For me, I would prefer that they go in further, because I enjoy this kind of psychological and philosophical part of the discussion, okay. But thinking that anime, they have like a certain amount of time, they can't dive deep, I kind of have to give it a pass. Okay, I might pick up the manga soon after this because actually last week when we talked about the anime, I've actually read um the whole anime, the whole manga for Wotakoi. Okay, I have watched Wotakoi and I actually enjoyed it. Okay, but it seems that you know it doesn't advance that much. Okay, so I might gonna start picking up manga reading again. Okay, and in the future, maybe not in January, maybe starting in February, I'll start highlighting some mangas. Okay, that I think without doubt in the future they're going to get an anime release at some point in the future. Okay, so now we are almost at the end of the anime, and with all this talk of blessings, okay, I'm wondering this big question in my head right now. Okay, does this set up an ending where the blessings are taken away from the people because they keep on saying that even the children are questioning, okay, why can't I just be why can't I just live a normal life, okay, instead of having to go and become an adventurer, okay, when and I think that either they're going to without a doubt it's going to be a cliffhanger, okay, because they can't settle out everything, but maybe are they going to set up an ending where they're going to face up the god of that world and talk about maybe take away all the blessings from the people, who maybe helping the demon lord, because maybe the demon lord is gonna do something about the blessings. I don't know, okay, but it does kind of like the story is kind of leading into that path. Okay, that's what I feel. Okay, now the next thing I want to talk about is that there is a game on Steam right now, which is basically based on the anime, manga, web novel. Okay, the original story is from a web novel. Okay, so this game okay, when I look at the screenshot, it looks a lot like the Stardew Valley and Harvest Moon, where you're going to grow some things on your backyard. Okay, and remember, since it's an apothecary, so maybe there's some kind of crafting mechanism thrown in there, and and there are also minor adventure quests where you go to the forest and hunt some monsters. Maybe, I don't know. I haven't played it yet. Okay, so the thing is, like I say, it's the review says that it's very good and stuff, but it's still in early access. I don't want to play a game that is still in early access. Okay, maybe at the end of they say oh, this game is going to be released in, for example, February. Maybe by the end of January, I'll pick it up and play it and see how it goes. Okay, so because I can assume that in the early access there's going to be a lot of bugs. There's going to be the game is not complete and not enough functions. If I played it on stream, okay, I don't want people to get the wrong impression of it. Okay, so I might play it later when it's close to full release, or when it's released. Okay, after it is out of early access or close to it. Okay, so yeah, because like I said, I do enjoy anime, I do enjoy mangas. Okay, and the part inside me want to play it now. Okay, but because think about it, it's a Stardew Valley, so basically you're growing, and then there's also item management, there's also adventuring, all of this. Okay, all of this different system without doubt needs to be fleshed out. If I played it now, I may get a bad impression from it, even though others think that it's good. Okay, I don't want to spoil myself to that. Okay, so I'm going to play it later, when it's further in development. Okay, now my thoughts on this anime series is that, first of all, I do enjoy the fact that that not only for this anime, Japanese anime in general, is that they always question, um, you know, I think maybe it's because in Japan they don't have a strong attachment to they don't have a strong attachment to religion. So with like in this case, um they don't think like God isn't is a 100% good, is 100% good. Okay, maybe they have their own reason. Okay, so that's why animes that should question it, okay, and may even portray the demons as a force of good but misunderstood. Okay, it's also very fun. Okay, and then actually to tell the truth, when I turned on my YouTube, okay, earlier today, yesterday, I found a couple of anime trailers that made me very interested. Okay, one of it is it talks about the hero actually quit being a hero and actually joined the demon army, and the demon lord accepted him, and it seems that even the demon lord, you know, she doesn't like violence, but she knows, okay, uh, reduce the amount of casualty as much as possible, and with that, you know, that kind of like balance between preconceived preconceived evil and preconceived evil and the reality, it really struck a chord with me. So, and then this anime, you know, talking about the blessings and stuff, actually shows that, you know, um that we should not take everything as is. Okay, so I really enjoyed that they questioned that. Okay, even though that the title is, you know, maybe slow living, okay, living the party and stuff. Okay, they dedicate. I would say that the underlying theme is the blessing, and it plays around 40 to 60% of the story. Okay, of course, there's also uh, love interest between both of them. Okay, and that is what made me stay. Okay, so the love interest for both of them, but also talks about these concepts I enjoyed so much. Okay, so and also there's a little bit of actions. Okay, now there are other animes like this, like for example, oh, slow living in this, okay, as a as a as a pharmacist, slow living as this, okay, living my life in the boonies, okay, for example, quitting the adventure guild. So all of that, I don't feel like they lack of action. I don't know that they're trying to get away from action. I do feel like, you know, I need a bit of like fighting just to keep me interested from time to time. Maybe not single app, maybe not every single episode, maybe every 2 to 3 episodes, but this anime, they balance it quite well, because when 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 Red here, when he has to use his, you know, fighting skills, you know, swordsmanship, uh whatsoever, it is not to show that it is not to show that he is powerful. It is like, how should I say this, to show that to show the people that there are other ways to to use the power for good. Okay, or it is to show that, okay, even if I have power, I should hide it, okay, and try to negotiate and try to make the world a better place in that way. Okay, and that in my sense, it's quite rare, okay, for me to find. Usually, you know, when you talk about this kind of like, even though this is not isekai theme, but you kind of get the feeling, you know, from the adventure and stuff, okay, that they would like to throw as many high level spells, as many as sword fighting action into it, but they revert, they kind of like uh, play to my expectation, but at the same time, focusing on the more relaxed parts of the story. Okay, now so that's it for Shin no Nakama. Okay, and this is my my schedule for the week. Okay, so like I say, I'm gonna play Wasteland and Lost. Okay, so Wasteland will be throughout the whole week, and I'm gonna play Natural Vacation. I do feel like kind of stupid for playing this in during Christmas time, but I wanna. The thing is that Yuzuhara Miyu, I can't get her out of the head right now. Okay, so I wanna play a couple of games that she starred in. Okay, so and then Wasteland 3 again, and next week we're gonna do Sai Hate no Paladin. Okay, so Sai Hate no Paladin. The reason why is that same reason as Shin no Nakama. Shin no Nakama is also the anime that aired in this season, but in a sense that you can compare Sai Hate no Paladin with Shin no Nakama, because the concept of the blessing is also in Sai Hate no Paladin, but they do it in a different way, and I would definitely talk about it and contrast it. Okay, but not only that, of course, I'll talk about how the story goes. And Sai Hate no Paladin, I wouldn't say that it's action packed. Okay, of course, without doubt, there are more action compared to Shin no Nakama. Okay, but I do feel like for Sai Hate no Paladin, I do wish that there's no action, because they hyped it up to be okay, but it seems that they focus on the talking and the world building at the same time. Okay, without a doubt, Sai Hate no Paladin, because due to nature of anime, okay, they have to keep it to 12-13 episodes per season. I do feel like if you want to enjoy Sai Hate no Paladin, you have to read the manga, which I might do that as well. Okay, after this. Okay, maybe I should try and read up Sai Hate no Paladin manga this week, so that I can also contrast the manga and the anime as well. Okay, I'll try and do that if I have time. Okay, or maybe I won't finish it. Okay, maybe I'll not catch up to it until the current one, but like maybe a quarter, half of it. Okay, I'll see how it goes. Okay, but I'm not promising anything, but I'll try to get my grasp and try to compare Sai Hate no Paladin anime and Sai Hate no Paladin manga. Okay. Okay, so that is all for this week. Okay? So if you like Geek Night, okay, please subscribe to the channel. Okay, like and share the video. Okay, and if you got anything to say, just comment down below. Okay, and if you really enjoyed it, you can join me live. Okay, it is Geek Night is always on Tuesday at 11 p.m. Malaysia time, or basically Wednesday 12 midnight. Okay, because I'm usually free at night. Okay, so yeah, if you have anything you want to say, comment down below. Okay, or maybe like suggestion you want me to do like this anime, but I can't promise anything because I only do Geek Night on the anime that I feel worth mentioning. And if you got a suggestion and then like I kind of agree with that, or I kind of like that anime, maybe I'm gonna do that based on the suggestion. Okay, so yeah, that is all for this week. I'll see you next week. We'll do Sai Hate no Paladin, or if you want to watch my other stream, tomorrow I'll be playing Wasteland 3. Tomorrow Wasteland 3, I'm going to save Iron Chloride from the secret bunker. Okay, yeah, that's my plan for the week. Okay, and I'll see you next time.